For the record, Erica Julian appearing on behalf of Holly Brown. Holly, state your name. Holly Brown.
Okay. We've seen her bond violation report.
Yes, Your Honor. And and she provided a letter to the court. I'm not sure if you were. I have another copy, Judge.
Is that with?
I had provided it to your staff with the file as it was going back, but I'm not sure whether.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, there.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. So I'm not sure. We do have a plea agreement in this case, and the way that we came to the plea agreement, discussed at the time that it would be an appropriate resolution based on the factual and legal issues of this case. I know that separately there's a bond violation for us to address with the court today. I wasn't sure in which order the court would be willing to hear them.
To do what?
To either take a plea or to address a bond violation.
Well, I'm a bit reluctant at this point to take the plea because of the bond violation. And also, I will say that, I mean, what should happen here, quite frankly, is you should be remanded because we've been through this. So I read your letter. Tell me why I shouldn't do that with you.
Your Honor, I feel absolutely horrible. I sat right here and I cried when you allowed me to be released and gave me another opportunity upon. And I know that I violated that and I am owning that, but I did not do anything. I didn't get behind a wheel. I didn't do anything to hurt anyone or myself or any property.
Well, it does hurt yourself.
And exactly, it did. And it does hurt me, but I physically or to anyone or anything, I just want to say that it was a nonviolent act and I know it was wrong. And right now I am building from ground zero back in my life and I'm really making strides, although this violation does not indicate that. 87 out of the 88 last days that I have not had dropped to drink.
What happened? What happened that day? I mean, what happened?
Can I just help facilitate just for a moment, Judge? We had a really long talk about this yesterday and I was very blunt with Ms. Brown. And just from my initial perspective, and then if she wants to explain further, when she was in custody for 2 weeks and her LACASA advocate was here, we never did get to the bottom of this other thing. And I think we probably would have not worried about it a whole lot, but for the fact that you stepped down from a scram to a sober link and then she had a positive blow on Tuesday. So when she was released, her LACASA advocate was here in the courtroom and, you know, did continue to assist her. But by that time, they had given away her bed. And that is common and that happens. She went to stay and she explained all that in her letter, what she did subsequent to that. She's been trying to get back into LACASA. I met with her and her LACASA advocate yesterday. They're anticipating that a bed will be open anytime. And she's been staying in a motel. But what that has to do with it is honestly, she was doing so well in this entirely structured setting. And when she was released, she was unable to return to that same structured setting. And I think it just fell apart on her. And I understand everything that Your Honor had said to her previously. If I could, I don't think she even knows that I know the steps. I think she's, based on yesterday, this is a huge step one issue. Meaning first step of the program, admitting that she's powerless over alcohol and that her life has become unmanageable. This is one of the instances that often folks point to and say, see how unmanageable that made your life become. And I know she is grappling with her, she wants to be sober so badly. She doesn't want to be this person or someone who walks into a liquor store and buys alcohol because that's a go-to. It's been her go-to for 25 years and she's tried very hard to put it down. And this is me coming to Ms. Brown accepting her cases on appointment, not knowing anything about her, and initially probably having the same view as everybody else, but getting to know her. I understand that she is trying so hard to keep it together, and where it may seem simple to just simply not consume the alcohol. I know that she struggles every day with all of her past trauma, everything that's happened, everything going on presently. And it is hard for her to keep it together when she is not in a structured environment. And I really don't mean the jail, because I understand that's the next step for her. But she's within just inches of being able to come back into LACASA in that structured environment. And she went to a meeting the last couple of days. She went to a meeting yesterday. She was not able to make it today. That's just due to a number of circumstances outside her control. But she is continuing to go to meetings every day. So that's my 2 cents for Ms. Brown.
Anything you want to add?
Your Honor, I feel that being in an environment where I'm supported and structured, as opposed to being locked away for something that I'm not a threat to society for, that I will make much.
Hold on. Ms. Brown, but you are.
I hear you. I do. And I'm sorry.
Because, you know, when you say you're not a threat, you're drinking, you can't control it, right? And, you know, like you said, I mean, this time you didn't get behind the wheel, but what if you do? And at least 3 times before, 2 times before, maybe a third, you did.
Right now, I am understanding. I'm desperate to be in a better place than I'm at. And the way to obtain that is not by being locked in a jail, but by being in a supportive environment with therapy and with support through AA members and therapists and counselors and advocates, and being surrounded by people who are like-minded in the desire to stay sober and to better their lives. And that's where I am. I don't want anything worse for my life, but I don't think I'm going to be able to start building that sitting down there, over there, where
Down that way.
And I honestly, I mean, the days that I have put in and the time and the work that I have put in, I think does show that the mistake that I made was huge. And I do not deny that, and I'm not minimizing it, but it's just a setback for me. It's not anything that's going to be productive. It's just going to just punish me for something I'm already kicking myself for, Your Honor. That's all. May I add, as far as driving, I do not have access to a car. And this last offense that we're initially here for, the Secretary of State did take my license at that point for 2 years. And that was a year and a half ago. I have had absolutely no, I've not been behind the wheel, and I have not had any, I've had proof of that by not pulled over or having anything. I was not pulled over because I wasn't behind the wheel, but I also wasn't, there's been no traffic violations for me since then. And that was before I knew of the charges that were brought to me. So I just wanted to add that. I do not have intentions of getting behind the wheel until I am legal to do so.
All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch you back to a scram, Heather. I'm not going to take your plea. I am going to adjourn this out to the 19th of 1 month, with the admonition to you that you better hope it doesn't malfunction or anything along those lines. I'm not going to be listening to any of that. All right. If there's any indication that you're drinking, what the court's going to do is we're going to come get you. All right. And I'm not going to, Miss Julian knows me, and I'm not going to hear a whole lot more at all from you.
Understood. at this point.
So I'll adjourn it to the 19th, 9 a.m. or your Zoom invite indicate defendant is to report to community corrections before you leave here today, and you're to be placed on a scram tether.
Okay.
We are extremely thankful to you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
What unfolded in this courtroom was far more than a routine bond violation hearing. It was a raw, unfiltered look at what happens when addiction collides with the justice system. Holly Brown stood before the judge not as a stranger to this process, but as a woman caught in a cycle she has been fighting to break for over 25 years. After being released on bond and stepping down from a scram tether to a sober link, Holly tested positive for alcohol, a violation that put everything on the line, including a pending plea agreement the judge was now reluctant to accept. Her attorney, Erica Julian, laid it out plainly. While in custody for 2 weeks, Holly lost her bed at LACASA, the structured recovery program that had been keeping her grounded. Without that environment, without the daily support of counselors, advocates, and fellow members in recovery, she slipped. Julian argued that jail would only punish Holly for a disease she is actively trying to overcome, not treat it. Holly herself pleaded with the court, acknowledging her mistake, owning the violation, and pointing to 87 days out of 88 where she stayed sober. She emphasized she never got behind the wheel, has had no access to a car, and has had no traffic violations since her license was revoked 1.5 years ago. The judge listened, but made his position crystal clear. He ordered Holly back onto a scram tether immediately, adjourned the case for 1 month, and delivered a warning that left no room for interpretation. Any sign of drinking, and she would be taken into custody without discussion. And it was a second chance wrapped in a final warning, one that Holly and her attorney accepted with visible gratitude. This case is a reminder that the courtroom doesn't just deal in guilt and innocence. Sometimes it wrestles with something far more complicated: the human struggle to change. If you found this case as eye-opening as we did, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more real courtroom breakdowns, because justice never gets old.